Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the National Finals of TCS iON IntelliGem 2021. Before we progress to the contest itself, may I request and welcome Mr. Mahadevan from TCS iON to set the ball rolling.
Thank you. A big hello to everyone. It is a tremendous pleasure that I welcome you all to the grand finale of the TCS iON IntelliGem 2021. It just looks like yesterday, but we are at the final stages of the third edition of this contest. When we started, we had two goals in mind. One, how do we enable the skills and competencies young learners of today need, what everyone talks about the 21st century skills. And two, how do we work with the school system to really see how these can be integrated as part of everyday learning. First, let me congratulate all the finalists who are here. You all have reached, after 3 rounds, competing with the thousands across the country, the best who put their foot forward, but not necessarily in the bestest of the circumstances, I believe. Given the challenges in terms of the pandemic, in terms of the way we had to reimagine the way we study, the way we work. In fact, we had to reimagine the contest. We reimagined every single aspect of this contest to ensure that you all stay home, stay safe, and still be part of the 21st century skills domain. When we started the reimagination, we wanted to ensure that we have a model which is ready to go global. Reimagining every aspect of this contest helped us come to a situation today where you might not be competing with just the best in the country, but best around the globe very soon, maybe in the very next year. All of this would not have been possible without the active participation and enthusiastic support from schools and students. We are happy to tell you that schools from 180 plus cities and towns of the country, spread over 27 states, participated. A big thank you to each and every one of you who took the initiative to encourage your young learners to be ready for the future. Today, we have in front of us 50 of the young gems who are going to compete for the final stage of this, for the national crown of TCS iON IntelliGem. Till now, I hope you all had a very good experience, and hopefully the last stage is going to be yours. So all the best. Put your best foot forward and ensure that you are at your articulate best, creative best, and also empathetic best. Best wishes. Thank you.
Thank you, Maha. Let me now introduce your host for today, who perhaps requires no introduction. Orator, quizmaster, Harvard alum, you guessed it right. Time for us to welcome your host, Big Brain.
Hello and a warm welcome to each and every one of you. You're with me, Big Brain, here today at the senior final of TCS iON's IntelliGem's Financial Literacy Final. It's a quiz which is basically meant to improve the awareness of financial literacy among youngsters in this country. But over the last couple of years, more than improving their awareness, they sometimes seem to be improving ours. Such is the caliber and awareness of these youngsters, especially those who reach up to a national final like today. But in these difficult circumstances, we truly appreciate the thousands who took part and indeed congratulate the 6 who made it this far. From here, one of them emerges the gem of tomorrow in financial literacy for the senior category. But then to me, All the 6 of them are champions here today, the way they have qualified into our final. For now, ladies and gentlemen, time for us to get started by introducing our 6 finalists, starting with the ones who are on my right here as you watch this final and enjoy it on the internet. Qualifying into this final as our first finalist here today from the St. Thomas Residential School of Trivandrum is Siddharth Kumar Gopal. Welcome to you, Siddharth. If you could have a nice little wave from you, Siddharth. All right, lovely, thank you. As our second contestant here today from the historic city of Kanchipuram, from the Padma Seshadri Bal Bhavan Senior Secondary School, there we have with us Neha Renish. Welcome, Neha. Neighboring Neha as our third contestant, also from Padma Seshadri but from T Nagar in Chennai, is Krishang Arjun. Welcome to you, Krishang. As our fourth contestant here today from Mumbai, Airoli to be more specific, from the New Horizon Public School is Gauri Shinde. Welcome, Gauri. As contestant 5 from Padma Seshadri, again the Chennai school, qualifying into our final is Vrishab Anurag. Welcome to you. And completing our lineup here today, also from Padma Seshadri's Bal Bhavan, they seem to be certainly good with their financial knowledge, and they've been consistent at this particular contest over the couple of years. But completing our lineup here today from the Kanchipuram school is Aditya Jain. Welcome to you, Aditya. We've seen the contestants. Time for us to move into the finale here today. I've got 5 rounds of quizzing and it's all on the buzzer. A plus 100 if you get it right, a minus 50 if you get it wrong in the first frontier. I require you to hold the buzzers up in your hands into a position where I'm able to see your buzzers. Questions will appear on your screen. We start with the first one, hands on the buzzer. The first frontier of our battle here today, basics of finance. Here it comes. We take it from all of you that you are alone in the rooms, that you are taking part in this quiz. It's an integrity that we leave to you. However, if we do find any head movements which are inappropriate or indicative of the presence of someone, you stand to be disqualified and you agree that the final decision on that is ours and will remain final as a decision. So if you're ready, hands on the buzzer, starting with the first one. I'm going to be reading out the questions in the first frontier. You can buzz when you think you know the answer, and I will stop reading if you think you know the answer at that stage. Starting with the first one. Adam Smith was part of a movement. Vrishab has gone for it very, very quickly. That's really... Yeah, go ahead. You got to switch on your mic, Vrishab.
Reserve Bank of India.
Oh, minus 50 to you, Adam Smith. Well, really in a hurry, minus 50, Vrishab. And we'll have the score coming up there as a minus 50 for you on that indicator. But truly in a hurry, it's a long question, which would have led to the phrase demand and supply. So don't be in a hurry. No rush of blood is required. As we go to the second one, hands on that buzzer. Here we go. Not a Penny More, Not a Penny Less is a book that was authored by Jeffrey Archer. It was his first novel. Why did he write it? For a specific reason, to avoid what? Context, it's a finance quiz. 5 seconds of time. Time ticking away. Nobody on the buzzer on why Jeffrey Archer wrote the book. Perhaps appropriately titled, Not a Penny More, Not a Penny Less. Tough one. No one taking a chance on that as time lapses on the question. Well, Jeffrey Archer as a person was close to being bankrupt. All he knew was to write well. And he said, why don't I give my writing a chance to avoid bankruptcy? And he titled the book, Not a Penny More, Not a Penny Less. And well, like they say, the rest is history. What a writer evolved in this world because of that. So the answer, bankruptcy. As we go to the third one, hands on the buzzer. Can I have the buzzers up, please? Here we go. Skins of animals have also been used as sort of exchange as currency in various parts of the world. Deer skin has been a very popular medium of exchange, especially in Northern America, when it was a British colony. Therefore, a particular word that is associated with money came into existence from the world of deers. Aditya has gone for it. Yes, Aditya?
Is the answer buck?
Is the answer buck? Oh, how many bucks do you have? A buck is a deer and it came from deer skin. Wonderful, 100. From Kanchipuram, he gets 100 with a fantastic answer on that one. As we go to the final one in this round, superb answer from him on buck. The Reserve Bank of India, currently 2019-20, nominated this person as the chairman of a committee to make recommendations for the restructuring of loans impacted by COVID-19. This gentleman has been a very famous personality in the world of finance, especially in India. He also comes with a background where he was at a point in time with the ICICI Bank. He's a very important man in Indian banking. A famous chain of restaurants, though he has nothing to do with it, comes from his family name or the name that he carries. Popular for their vegetarian food. 5 seconds of time, ticking away. Oh, nobody on the buzzer on that one as time ticks away. Siddharth, I'm sorry, you've lapsed your time on that. And the answer that I was looking for is Mr. Kamath. K.V. Kamath, the answer that I was looking for. Was that what was on your mind, Siddharth? Or are you lucky you would have got a negative?
No, sir, that was on my mind. Initially, I didn't know. But when you said he's very important in the world of finance and especially ICICI, it clicked on my mind.
Oh, you should have been a little faster because you lapsed the time on the question. The answer that I was looking for is K.V. Kamath. The Kamath hotels have been extremely popular for their vegetarian offerings. But early days in our quiz here today, I'll tell you where the contestants stand in just a moment. Well, we've got Rishabh on -50 and Aditya on 100. And the others are yet to score. As we move on to the next frontier of our battle here today, it's called Invest with a Thought. Here it comes. As we go to the second frontier of our game, I've got visuals coming up for you, starting with the first one on your screen now. What was the contribution of this famous person to the world of currency? Currently, this currency has been discussed and debated for a huge decision that the world has been witnessing. He coined the term for this particular currency, which might get impacted by certain decisions that the world has taken or a certain region in the world has taken. Nobody going for it. 5 seconds of time. Senior final is tough. 5 seconds is even more tougher to play. Well, time lapsing. The answer is simple. You're going to kick yourselves on it. Well, the big decision, of course, was Britain's decision on Brexit. The answer is euro. The euro is the answer. Krishang Arjun is smiling. He says, I should have worked that one out. Well, As we go to the next one, hands on the buzzer, question on your screen. Can I see your buzzers, please? As we go to our second question, here it comes. This is a famous gentleman speaking on BBC. He is a former finance minister of India, a great man from the history of our nation. He was also at a point in time with the Tata Group. Later was also a railway minister. No one going for it. 5 seconds lapsing. Oh, no one's really playing it on the speed factor. A great man from the history of Indian finance, and I'm being strict on time because it's a senior final. This is the one and only John Mathai. Well, it seems to be a nervous quiz. Somewhere they'll have to become a little more comfortable and be willing to take their risks. As we go to the next one on your screens. Now, this man's name is Subbarao Pai. From Karnataka, he started a great bank, which to this day is one of India's largest conglomerates in the banking sector. Which famous bank was given to our country by Subbarao Pai? Vrishab on the buzzer. He's gone for it. Yes, Vrishab. Your mic, please.
Canara Bank.
Is a good one. He's got that absolutely right on Canara Bank, and he gets a plus 100 on that, as that will take him to a plus 50 effectively because he had a minus 50. As we go to the next one, the final one on your screens now. It's something that could just have the buzzers going very quickly. This is a famous lady that you would associate to Axis Bank. Siddharth is going for it. Yes, Siddharth.
Shika Sharma.
Is perfectly correct. He'll get himself 100 on that. Shika Sharma is a good one from Axis Bank, a lady at the helm of Indian finance. 2 rounds done. We'll take a very quick break. On the other side, I'll tell you where the contestant stands. Back in just a moment. Stay with us.
Money has come a long way. From being grains, shells, metal coins, paper, plastic, it has taken many forms and shapes for at least last 3,000 years of human history. But who would have imagined that one day it would become so advanced that it becomes invisible? TCS connected hundreds of banks, financial institutions, and millions of citizens all over India using a secured, resilient, innovative, always-on payment platforms of RTGS, NEFT, and NACH. These advanced financial platforms have now become the digital spine of India's economy, empowering the digital India vision by providing anytime, any amount, anyone to anyone, anywhere, any device, any channel, any bank to any bank transactions. So many any's, making it one of the world's most innovative payments infrastructures. So the next time you get that SMS ping that says your money's in the bank, TCS helped get it there.
TCS, part of your story.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You're with me, Big Brain, here today watching the national finale of TCS iON IntelliGem's Financial Literacy Quiz for the senior category. And before I move any further, here's a look at where the contestants stand. On 50, Rishabh has regained ground from the minus that he had taken. On 100 are Aditya and Siddharth. The others, I'm sure, will get moving as we move to the next frontier. It's time for us to mine some errors. Here it comes. Moving on to the third frontier of our battle here today. Plus 100 if you get it right, minus 50 if you get it wrong. 4 statements that I'm going to give you. You can buzz when you think you know the answer. All you got to tell me is whether the statement I'm giving you is a wrong statement, which means it's an error, or it's a right statement. At your age, you can tell me whether it's true or false. So the whole idea is to mine the error and find out which of my statements are true, which of them are false. 4-0, hands on the buzzer. First statement from me. Nothing appears on your screen. So pay attention to what I have to read out. Here it comes. Goodwill. Goodwill is a term for a source of wealth, often associated with a large output from a mine. It comes from the Spanish term for good weather. Goodwill. Is it true or is it false? Anyone wanting to take that chance? 5 seconds of time. Nobody taking a chance on that one. The answer is bonanza. You keep saying, right, you have a Diwali bonanza, you have a Christmas bonanza, and that basically means a source of wealth which comes from a mine, which means you suddenly found a bonanza in a mine or a gold bonanza. So the answer would have been false, but no one going for it. Here's the second one. Banyan trees gave their names not just to the banyas, but it also gave their names to bandits who sat under banyan trees. Banyan trees, Krishang is going for it. Is that true or false?
False.
We'll give you 100. Well played on that. Well, bandits had nothing to do with banyan trees. He figures the mistake and he gets 100 on that, is Krishang Arjun. 3 of them on 100. The battle will get nervous as we go to the next one. Synergies Dore, an automotive company from India, was the first from our country to file for insolvency under the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code of 2016. Is this true or false? Vrishab.
True.
We'll give you 100. Oh, every time Vrishab is doubtful, he gets it right. Well, that's a nice way of answering when you look like you are in self-doubt. But he gets 100, and I think that takes Vrishab to 150. So it's a very tight battle. I'll tell you the scores at the end of the next question. Here's the next one. The year was 1778. The person was William Hogg. He was allowed by the Royal Bank of Scotland to draw £1,000 more from his account than what he had in it. This resulted in the idea of interest-free loans. Aditya is giving it a shot. Go ahead, Aditya. True or false?
It's true.
Oh, you get a minus 50 on that. It started the concept of what one calls an overdraft. An overdraft is when you can draw more than what your bank account has. So if you knew what I was defining or giving you as a scenario, you would have cracked it. So these are all scenario-based questions, but given that we are on an internet-based quiz, we made it more like a true or a false. So we're going to take a look at where the contestants are just for their benefit. I think 1 on 150, 2 on 100, and Aditya on 50 because he took that negative. But we'll take a look at all the scores at the end of the next round. For now, we move to what we call Pick Your Credit. Here it comes. The scoring pattern pretty much remains the same. 100 if you get it right, 50 if you get it wrong. On your screen, you will get a statement and a set of boxes like this. This is an example. The currency of India. Everybody knows the answer. You got 5 blocks on your screen, so you know that rupee is what will fit in. So you got to fit the right word in. As we move to the first one, question 1, hands on the buzzer. Calculate the number of letters carefully before you give me your answer. On screen for 100, here it comes. It's a financial term that originally meant any fence. Krishang Arjun is going for it. 5 letters. Go ahead.
Hedge.
If you could just sit back. Yes?
Hedge.
Hedge. Spell that.
Hedge.
Oh, lovely. He's got that absolutely right. Is the 5 letter of Arjun, Arjun. Well, he'll get hedge right and he smiles at that one. So he's got a crucial 100. Oh, it's really interesting. Vrishab got 100. He went into the lead. Now Krishang gets 100. He's gone into the lead. It's going to put pressure on a lot of people out here as we go to the second question on screen now. The finance minister of our country not so long ago invoked a term from an industry that applied to an occurrence outside of human control that can't be predicted or prevented. Rishabh has gone for it. Yes, Rishabh.
Act of God. ACTOFGOD.
Act of God. The finance minister of India invoked that term to say situations like COVID are an act of God. Perfectly correct. It's a term used in the insurance business, and people in the world of finance use that too. So he gets himself another 100, and that takes him into the lead. Oh boy, we've really got an interesting game unfolding here at this IntelliGem. Third one on screen now. This institution recently paused publication of its doing business report because of certain irregularities. Which institution in the world of finance, more finance, though it's not typically, might sound like a specific institution in finance, but the 4 letters would lead you to that. 5 and 4. Nobody. Siddharth is taking a shot. Is he taking a half chance? Go ahead, Siddharth, just in the nick of time.
World Bank.
Well played. Oh, well played. I think he played a crossword rather than an answer on that. He worked out the 5,4 to get himself a 200 as a total. He's not giving up easily. Rishabh still in the lead as we go to the final one in this round. Here it comes. Toman is a currency. Read it carefully. 4-letter answer. Toman is a currency. Krishang is going for it. Sit back, Krishang.
Oman.
Yes.
Oman.
Oh, minus 50 to you. Toman is a new currency name of Iran. Iran's currency is going to be called Toman. Okay, you went for the Oman in Toman. Okay, I didn't realize that. I thought you were just guessing a 4-letter word. Oman would still be the Sultanate of Oman, but yeah, well, not a bad guess. I didn't realize that Oman was in Toman, but the answer is Iran. It's more current affairs, actually. One final round to go in this quiz, but before we get to that round, we'll take a look at the scores on the other side of this break. Stay with us.
There's a race underway that is like no other race the world has seen. It is a race to find a cure for a pandemic, a vaccine that will save lives. The faster you find it, the more lives you save. The entire scientific and pharmaceutical world is chasing a cure, and TCS is right there with them. TCS Research and Innovation Division leveraged artificial intelligence to help identify 31 molecules that potentially hold the key to a drug design for the virus. TCS has co-innovated with the global pharmaceutical, life sciences and healthcare world. Be it in genomics, remote patient monitoring, medical device engineering or personalized 3D implants. In the fight against the pandemic, TCS is leading drug discovery, regulatory compliance and pharmacovigilance efforts. With technology helping medicine, the finish line to the cure cannot be far away.
TCS, part of your story.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. You're with me, Pig Brain, watching a dramatic national final on financial literacy, brought to you by TCS iON's IntelliGem series. With us here today are 6 contenders from different parts of this nation, battling for the top honors. Here's how that scorecard looks. Aditya on 50 will have to do a lot more work here today. Krishang is on 150. Every time he gets 100, he gets into that lead position. He needs 100 to get to Vrishabh. Correct. He needs 100 only to get to Vrishabh. Siddharth is on 200. And I tell you what, the game can be a little tricky because everyone are so close to each other. On the final frontier, I've got a set coming up for you which will certainly pick your brain from picking your credits. As we move into what we call reap your rewards. Here it comes. The final 4 questions will literally determine who's going to win the national final this year. Plus 100 if you get it right, minus 100 if you get it wrong. Play very, very carefully on the final frontier. 4 questions, starting with the first one on your screen now. A huge concept in this world would connect these two people. It originally started with King William coming up with a closed-end investment company idea in Netherlands way back in the 1800s, while a Dutch merchant was actually the person who created a trust much later that gave the king the idea. Or much later, the king got that idea. What are we talking about in this modern world, which is so important for investing as an area of investments? Krishang is taking a chance at it. Let's see if he knows this. Sit back, Krishang. Go ahead.
The idea of splitting a company into shares.
Oh, you got to build far more than that for me. That's an area of investment. So you're saying investments in shares, is it?
Yes.
Minus 50. Minus 50. Well, closed-end investment companies was a very good clue. The answer I was looking for was the concept of mutual funds. Well, Siddharth is kicking himself. He thought he should have gone for it. 3 questions remaining. Krishang taking a negative on that. But I tell you what, it's a minus 100. All right, so Krishang down to 50. I just wanted to get that math right. 3 questions still to go, so he can make a comeback even now. If you can hold your buzzers, moving on to the next one. Krishang will have to give it a go from here because he will need 1 or 2 quickly. Next one on your screens now. These are different types of schemes that are named after. Rishabh is going for it. There's a number like a convict. Yes, Rishabh?
Ponzi schemes.
Sorry?
Ponzi schemes.
Ponzi schemes are named after this man. It'll give him 100, and I think Rishabh will again go into the lead with that. Oh, I think he moves to 350 if my arithmetic is right. We've got 2 questions to go as we go to the next one on your screen now. He's a professor from Harvard who served in India as well. Who is this great man from Harvard who was deputed to India somewhere around the reign of JFK? That's John F. Kennedy. Nobody on the buzzer. Krishang taking a chance. Great economist. Yes, Krishang.
James Taylor.
Sit back, Krishang. Sit back, please.
James
Yes?
Taylor. James
Sorry?
Taylor. James Taylor.
James Taylor is a good name from world finance history, but that will give you another minus 50. Well, he's taking some good names, but the answer I was looking for was none less than the great Galbraith, the man who became the ambassador of the United States to India, J.K. Galbraith, a great man from Harvard to being the ambassador of the United States in India. 350 to Rishabh. He's looking good here today. Siddharth should have gone for the previous one. Final question on your screens now. What gets produced or minted with this equipment? Tough last question. Aditya on the buzzer. Yes, Aditya.
Currency notes.
Currency notes. Ooh. Well, it looks a lot of technology on your screen there. Minus 100 to you. Well, he takes a big minus 100. Is Aditya on that one? And that's a tough minus for him to take. Nonetheless, the answer is Bitcoins. This is the manner in which Bitcoins are minted with those equipments. But I tell you what, for a young set of quizzers here today, it is an outstanding battle that all of you have played out. What a close finish here today on that final scorecard. Krishang and Aditya taking negatives towards the end to end up with the score that they have. while Siddharth finishes with 200 and should have tried a little more in my opinion, while Vrishab, confident, knew where he had to answer, had some superb answers, is the national champion for 2021 for the category of financial literacy at TCS iON's IntelliGem. Congratulations to you, Vrishab. Hard luck, Siddharth. You certainly could have pushed that buzzer a little more and taken a few more chances. But then, what I really like about TCS iON is there is only one winner and the rest are all equal runners-up. So there's no concept of a second prize. So everyone gets the same prize as a runner-up, which I truly appreciate because you're in the top 6 of the country from what? 4,000, 3,000, whatever number of people who took this. It's not fair to say first, second, third, fourth. Fine. We still need a winner. So we've got a winner. But on that note, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, coming up on the other side, the valedictory function, where we are going to recognize all these champions, including Rishabh. Stay tuned, stay back in just a moment with the valedictory of 2021 for TCS iON IntelliGem. Till then, goodbye.
After that fabulous show, we now invite you to join us for the prize distribution on 26th January 2021 at 6 p.m. I repeat, 26th January 2021 at 6 p.m. We will see you there.